What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Black Desert. So, first of all, hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. It is actually the day after when I'm recording this, and hopefully you guys had a wonderful day. I need to find a new spot in game to find or just tell stories and just discuss topics with you guys. But what I wanted to talk about today was a question that I've been asked a lot. Do levels and skill points actually matter past a certain point in this game? And the answer is yes and no, but I wanted to go more in detail about like what would be the soft cap and generally what is the point of leveling up and getting X amount of skill points. So first of all, right now, there is no cap in the game in terms of level. There is a cap in terms of skill points, which I have not reached. It is like 3,000 plus the skill points you get from questing. I believe that is how it works. So some people will always have a different number. That's just how much you've quested in the game and got extra skill points from various things playing on that character. So technically, yes, there is a cap on skill points. No cap on levels, but the highest person in the world is level 67. And that just literally takes years. But what I wanted to talk about is the like soft cap and is there a point to leveling up past 62? So as you guys know, in the past years, ever since they started, the game started, the whole goal in this game was always to like get to a certain point and then go for silver. And I think the most important thing that people will learn in this game that is different from other MMOs is like when you play World of Warcraft, for example, let's use that as an example, or Final Fantasy. People want to just rush to the highest level to do the highest raids and dungeons and whatnot. In this game, it works a little bit differently in terms of like progression and character building. So what we do with skill points is obviously get the skills. Now, we get all of the skills unlocked pretty early, but each dot right here is a different like level of it. So that means it does more damage and or does some other effect. Every class has it. So let's talk about levels first. What is the point of leveling up past 60 to 62? So the breakpoints in this game are 60. At level 60, you get extra family fame, and where is it? Let me show you. So if you look at the tooltip right here, it'll tell you from 56 to 60, you get more family fame, right? And the family fame gives you account-wide bonuses. So I'm going to go over some breakpoint levels that people will be wondering, and especially this is very helpful for newer players. So when you start the game, obviously level 1, very standard. Next thing people will tell you is level 56. 56 allows you to unlock the awakening line. I do believe that is also connected to succession as well. So basically, awakening and succession is basically when you get a new job in a way, and you get to use different and or more powerful abilities. So basically, awakening, you would have different abilities along with your ones you started out with. So that is where people say the game begins. And level 50 is when PvP gets enabled on your character. And you just have to go through a quest. So you don't just accidentally do it. You will know when you do it. So that's where 50 and 56 comes from. And then 60 is the point where you get quadruple combat fame. And it also unlocks a lot of skills, like the highest level of whatever skill you have. I do believe they changed it over the years because 62 used to be the soft cap, as we say, to max out all the skills in your build, right? So then they lowered it to make it easier for everyone, which I do believe is a good thing for people who play multiple characters. It's just easier. And so yeah, every time you see a skill right here, it'll tell you like what the different, if you just hover over the tooltip, it doesn't matter. Just look at any skill. It doesn't matter what class. the damage increase and just like the effect that's different. So I believe if you were to take out a skill, you could just see the levels that it requires. And it's usually like 56, 57, 58, 60 or something like that, right? All of them are different, but past 56, you get X level, you go up another point. So at level 62, I believe is when you unlock a special ability, like your passive. Every class has one, every class has a different one. So at level 62, it'll tell you you get your passive. And that's basically the point where you pretty much have everything unlocked. And so what's the point in leveling past 62 after that? Every time you level up, you'll see like a little thing pop up around here at the bottom. And you'll show like your stats increased by like HP increased by like 15, whatever. It depends on the class you play. It's obviously different for everyone. But yes, you do get bonuses for leveling up. And you also get like extra stats in terms of like HP, MP. Your accuracy does kind of increase a little bit. And you notice this early on in the game. Because let's say when you're going from like level 1 to 56, right? And you're looking at enemies and it's like purple difficulty, like the name of the enemy, it's like a purple text. And then it goes from like red to white and stuff. That means the enemy is difficult at your current stage. And the way you get around that is obviously more AP, more accuracy. And honestly, early on, accuracy and AP are like the most important things. And even if you have a lot of AP early on, but you have 0 accuracy, you're still going to be like missing. And if you're trying purple enemies at that time, it's not really the greatest feeling. So either way, accuracy, as you level up, it is like a hidden stat. And like, obviously you just go up in levels, you get more hidden accuracy, and then enemies are just easier to fight. So we know that because it's been tested. And so every time you level up, you get some extra stats on the side. So yeah, that's where the bonuses past 62 come in. However, one thing I do want to talk about is there is a leaderboard in this game for levels, and does it really matter? No, no one cares, to be honest. So one tip I would give a lot of players is after you hit like 62, what should you do? You should find grind spots that make you money and or grind spots that you enjoy doing, whether it's because you like it for like, I don't know, the zone is just nice or whatever. But later on, once you start hitting the end game, money or grinding for silver is a lot more important than grinding for XP or just having a goal in general. Like, let's say you're grinding, I don't know, Histria because you want the compass piece. That is why you should be there, not because, oh, I want this XP. And yeah, so the sooner you figure out that silver in this game is a lot more important than XP after a certain point, then the faster you'll be progressing through the game. So with that said, that's my thoughts and opinions on leveling. Obviously, they've made it easier over the years, which I think is good, because back in the day, re-rolling was very difficult. And you know how they give those weapon exchange coupons every now and then? Back in the day, there was no tagging. So that was the only way you would play a new character. And even then, you still had to level up your character, get a lot of the skill points. And yeah, nowadays, easy. Back in the day, difficult. This is why I know a lot of this. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was skill points. And is there a point in getting past X amount of points? So recently, this year, a few months ago, they made a change where they made it super easy for everyone. And they said roughly about 1,200 skill points is the soft cap to get all your skills for both main and awakening and have it maxed out. And I think that is a very fair number because obviously re-rollers, new players who come into the game are obviously at a disadvantage than veteran players. So to make things like the gap smaller between veteran players and new players. I think that was a good change. So you may be wondering, okay, so why is the cap still like 30,000 plus? And the answer is because they just never changed it. And so what do you do? Well, what did they do to help fix the problem when they lowered all the skill point changes? So let's say you start a new character, I don't know, season, for example, and you're at like 1250, and you're like, oh, okay, so I have all my skill points, right? And now I'm just getting extra. Is there a benefit for it? So one thing they decided to add was a weight training skill. And basically, this allows you to spend extra points or extra skill points past everything and just get character weight, which I think was the best way they could have handled it, because I've seen people offer the advice of, okay, so for everyone who's higher level, what should you do with the extra skill points? And people are saying like, oh, you could add like extra HP or something. I think that was not a good idea, because that will still leave a gap between like veteran players and the newer players. So I think weight limit was actually a good choice. Like, I don't know if they thought about that or they're just like, okay, let's add weight. But anyway, I think this was probably the best way to handle it. Either that or like inventory slots. But like either way, I think weight is always better than inventory, in my opinion. So yeah, I think this is a very good thing. The way they properly thought about it, I think they thought about it, hopefully. So, and they also did it in a good way as well. So if we hover over like the level 1, they actually did this like backwards, right? So as you can see right here, right, level 1 you get 30 weight for 50 points. Level 2 and level 3 it goes up by 50 and you get less weight. So instead of doing the opposite thing where you get less points but lower cost, they did it high weight, low cost from the beginning, and it goes like negative in terms of point cost. So if you were to max out, you spend 300 points and only get 5 weight. So I think that's a good way to keep incentivizing people, but not like have a huge gap. So yeah, for the weight limit itself, I believe they did it the correct way. And there are other things you can still spend it on. This is all just PvP stuff. If you do sieges and whatever, like, I don't care. Like, will it help you? Very marginally. And so, overall, is there a point past 1200? It's really just to get the weight. And what do I think all classes should keep in mind? Back in the day, some classes actually needed a lot more skill points than other classes to do well and get their like core skills. Nowadays, it's all balanced. Well, when I say balance, is you need the same amount of skill points as every class. That doesn't mean classes damage is balanced, and that's something I think they need to focus on in the future. Just class balance in general, instead of like putting a band-aid on the problem and just keep releasing new classes, because not everyone enjoys re-rolling, because it's a very huge time commitment, it's expensive, and I wish one day that if the Pearl Abyss team ever watches this video, please do better balancing instead of releasing new classes. I know that new classes make more money for the game, and sadly I think that's the route they're going to continue, but like, listen to feedback. When I hear feedback from Pearl Abyss, and you know how like if you read the patch notes, you're like, we changed this thingy and here's why, and then I'm like, where are you getting this information from? And like, which players do you listen to the feedback from? Because I'm literally a BDO partner, and we have like channels where we could directly talk to the developers, leave feedback, and it feels like I'm on the North American server, right? And we have like NA partners in the EU. I know every server has their own set of partners, right? We send them feedback, and then they send them to like the Korean team at Pearl Abyss, and then will it ever get fixed? And I think the best way for Pearl Abyss to like listen to feedback, obviously it's very difficult, is you go around to like their official forums, for example, right? And I believe that they should just get the things that are most popular and has like the most upvotes or whatever, however they do it, and just take a look at that. And even like creators will like look at it and as well. So I'm not saying that a creator is more important than like a normal player. I think every person's opinion is pretty valid. I just think I'm just like wondering where they take their feedback from. But anyway, with that said, that's the difference between skills or skill points and leveling. I just wanted to clarify it because I do get this question asked a lot. It's like, hey, should I level this character past X? And the real answer is technically, yes, you are benefiting from it. Is it a huge gain? Not really. If you were going to get one shot by a player, one level is not going to change it. It makes PvEing. It doesn't even really change that after a certain point either. It's just like, oh, big number, go bigger. That's about it. So anyway, with that said, thanks so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hope you have a fantastic day. Have a wonderful new year. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I do try to make videos pretty regularly, and would love to see you guys come back for new and exciting stuff pretty daily. And see you guys later. Peace.